During the time of the Cataclysm, unsung heroes across the lands beyond banded together to defend against the abominations and monstrosities left by gold. Several of these notable figures are Grandmaster Arundelen, his successor Rostam, also known as the Bloodstained Knight, the Crimson Witch of Flame, and the Viridiscent Venerer, or the Queen of Hunters. Welcome to the Artifact Chronicles, where I discuss artifact lore and how they impact the story of Genshin Impact. Today, we will be diving into every anime character's best in slot, the Viridiscent Venerer, or the Maiden's Beloved 2.0 set because it never drops. If you enjoyed this kind of content, please consider subscribing and watching the first video of the series, the prayers of illumination, wisdom, destiny, and springtime, and why Celestia may not be truly evil. Today, I want to open the history of the Viridiscent Venerer and who is the Queen of the Hunters. The title Viridiscent Venerer was given to a nameless hunter who grew far, far away from the city. The nameless hunter roamed thick forests and foliage day and night, and only had the comfort of her bow and arrows to survive. She was taught a simple mantra upon her growth. We are born of the greenery. As long as there is grass and shade, we shall move unimpeded. We are the same as beasts and birds. As long as we follow the laws of nature, then we shall not fear death. All those who follow nature, when their life reaches its last ebb, shall head towards that endless plain. Upon her youth, she was told to never lose her arrow for any reason but survival, that she should never bear ill will towards another, and that her bow never be used for war, revenge, or glory. For the bloodstained shall never fight yonder hunting fields of endless viridescence. With this mantra, she became the harbinger of the wild. She was a silent hunter, one who would mask her scent to blend into the wilderness or remain silent even as her arrows pierced through the targets. The birds would be her eyes, and the roots of the earth would be her ears. Thus, it was said that to seek the silent and gentle Viridiscent Venerer, one simply must close their eyes and walk barefoot through the forest. One must follow the fragrance of the flowers and tread softly so as to not alert the Queen of the Hunters. It was not that the Queen was impartial to humans, but rather that she was a child of the forest. Even when she was reunited with her fellow humans, she had forgotten how to speak the common tongue. No one would hear her utter a single word or leave a single trace behind. She believed that at the end of her life, she would wake from reality and be reunited with the departed at an endless hunting ground. She believed that she will return to the earth she was birthed from. However, she knew that such a fate was already lost to her when she was consumed by her own vengeance. As silent as the Queen's heart may be in a hunt, one shouldn't mistake her quiet nature for peace. There was a time when the forest was silent, a time centuries ago where the lands finally stopped speaking to the Viridiscent Venerer. Perhaps this was also the time that the gods have descended from the heavens to bring forth the destruction of the godless nation. For this was the catastrophe that ended the god of the woods. It was during this crisis as well that a young boy found the Queen of the Forest. After threading through the greenery and avoiding the crackle of the leaves, he was the one to finally beckon the call of nature. And the Queen answered. She and the boy had become acquaintances at one point, had become close enough that one day he had requested for her not to hunt the birds and the beasts of the forest. However, the purity of the Viridiscent Venerer will be put to the test upon the destruction of the godless nation. The cataclysm came with the abominations of human sin and arrogance. The cataclysm came with the fall of humanity's pride. The cataclysm came with the pursuits of gold. And the cataclysm brought the death of the young boy. Under the tree, the queen would slumber. It was at the death of the boy her resolve was steeled. No longer were the endless fields of green her future, but rather the never-ending battles against the monsters that brought destruction and death wherever they went. The promise of meeting her master, or those that frolic where the grass is as green as the breezes of the wild, lost forever. The moment she let her arrow be shot, with the thoughts of revenge and blood, where she no longer hunted to survive, but to kill.
Never become the foe of the forest and the earth. That was a hunter's rule. Never forget that you belong to the green, child of the forest.
The story of the Viridiscent Venerer is a tale of the past, and one that shows the will of a person broken by grief and anger. Her story is tragic, and really gives a light on the impact that the cataclysm had not only to the citizens of Conria, but also to the many regions in the world. This opens further and further the possibility that perhaps the gods did not destroy Conria out of spite or jealousy, but rather because the abominations brought by gold's corruption were terrorizing the other nations. Hopefully, we'll understand more in the future. But nevertheless, thank you so much for watching. This is a much shorter vignette from the archive that I really wanted to cover because I think the story was fascinating. If you want to check out more videos like this, please consider subscribing. For the release of 2.1, I am planning to do a full gameplay video, so please stay tuned for that. But nevertheless, thank you so much for watching. Come by on Twitch and Discord, we love theorizing there as well, and I set up a Patreon just in case if you want to see more sneak peeks of future videos, scripts, editings, any updates, those kinds. But my name is Aster, and thanks for chilling with me.